program are not in concert order. There we go. So our next piece is actually called Ghost of the Lost Ship. One thing about pieces like this is a little description is always helpful in knowing what you're listening for. So I just want to read briefly part of what the composer here is trying to illustrate. Of course, the title, Ghost of the Lost Ship, tells you something. It was written to tell a story of buccaneer naval warfare. These credo-driven pirates are known throughout history for their attacks on Spanish ships and coastal towns in the Caribbean Sea during the 17th century. So, you know, when a composer writes a piece like this, that's what trying to illustrate musically. So you're going to hear some naval-type sounds in the back. The percussion is playing, but there are other effects, of course, he's trying to achieve with this ghost effect. Now, one interesting thing about this piece was written by a man named Tyler S. Grant. Now, I talked to the students earlier about this today, in that some people write music at a very young age. For example, Mozart, he wrote a very famous melody we all know. He's like five or 6 years old, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. It wasn't called that when he was writing it, obviously, but it's come to be known as that. Now, Mozart, of course, was a genius, which most of us aren't. So at 5 years old, he could accomplish that, and that piece has remained for 300 years, of course, and he went on to write many more incredible pieces, obviously. The composer for this piece, this is why I tell this story, was born in 1995. So, of course, you can do the math and think how old he is right now. A lot of times we think about composers as past, and maybe they passed away. But this young man wrote this piece in 2014, so he was 19 years old when he wrote it. Prior to that, he had already achieved a great deal of success. For example, commissioned by the Macy's Great American Marching Band to write a fanfare for that band in 2011. So think how old he was then, being born in 1995. So obviously, a pretty incredible musician to write these kind of pieces. So our goal, of course, is to take, and I tell the students this all the time, the printed page, the ink and paper, and create music out of it for you. This is not music itself. This is just our score we're reading off of. So our goal is to make, hopefully, you envision this ghost of the lost ship that Tyler S. Grant is trying to portray to us. So enjoy. Thank you very much. When I was a young musician, I started on trumpet at the beginning in fifth grade. And as I progressed, I went to switch to French horn and baritone horn, but I also started playing the piano. And for some reason, I get an interest in ragtime piano playing, ragtime style, which is an early style in the early 1900s, but just prior to jazz and actually evolving somewhat into jazz. And that style has always stuck with me. And so I think it's always fun to hear ragtime music. Typically played on pianos and player pianos, but there were ragtime bands too. Alexander's ragtime band, of course, famous piece. This piece called Slideshow is a ragtime style. And I chose it for two reasons. One, I think ragtime's fun. It's also in what's called cut time, which is basically taking 4/4 time and playing it twice as fast. So students who aren't used to playing in cut time get to learn something new. And then the second reason was, although I don't play favorites with instruments, I like all the instruments, I think our trombone sections sometimes get slighted. And I want to try to encourage trombone players to play more and more students to go into trombone and low brasses too. Our trombones are featured in this piece, hence the name Slideshow. However, one technique that they are going to be doing in this piece that other instruments really can't do are called a glissando. A glissando is starting in one position on your slide and sliding up or down to the next note. Again, only trombones can do that efficiently. And so they are asked to give us these sliding sounds in this ragtime style. During the day today, we had directors from across District 9 in Southern Ohio here who worked with our different sections. And one thing I asked the trombone section leader to do was to work on the trombone glissandos. You have to be aggressive with these glissandos and be effective. So that's going to be the trombone player's goal today. No pressure on them to make these glissandos come out stronger and give us this nice toe-tapping ragtime feel. This is featuring our trombones Slideshow.